Hi everyone, good to see you again all. I hope you all will be fine. Please check Iraq latest news updates. Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani departed the capital, Baghdad, en route to New York to participate in the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly. This was announced in a brief statement from his media office. The Iraqi delegation to the UN General Assembly will be led by Prime Minister Al-Sudani and include Foreign Minister Fuad Hussein. They are expected to meet with several world leaders during their visit, according to Foreign Ministry's spokesman Ahmed al-Sahhaf. Foreign Minister Hussein arrived in New York last Friday to prepare for the Prime Minister's visit and the participation of the Iraqi delegation in the General Assembly. The assembly, scheduled to begin on the coming Tuesday, takes place amid significant geopolitical tensions, exacerbated by the conflict in Ukraine. It witnesses a rivalry between Russia and China on one side and the United States and Europe on the other to gain the support of non-aligned nations. The agenda for this year's meetings prominently features concerns in the Southern Hemisphere, reflecting the increased interest of Western nations in securing the support of developing countries in their efforts to isolate Russia. High-level meetings during the General Assembly will focus on the priorities of developing nations in Africa, Latin America, and Asia, including topics such as climate, health, development financing, and the alignment of sustainable development goals on the right track. And the United States praised the ongoing efforts between the Iraqi federal government and the Kurdistan regional government to resolve the budget issue, expressing optimism for further dialogue to achieve a lasting solution. U.S. Ambassador to Baghdad, Elena Romanovsky, shared her commendation on the X social media platform, formerly Twitter, emphasizing the importance of the joint efforts to find a solution regarding the budget and its implementation. She also noted the decision by the Iraqi cabinet to transfer payments in the coming months. Romanovsky expressed her anticipation for continued dialogue to reach a more sustainable solution that serves the best interests of the entire Iraqi population. In a related development, the federal cabinet approved funding for the Kurdistan regional government to cover the salaries of government employees for the last 3 months. Kurdish Prime Minister Masrour Barzani also announced an agreement with Federal Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani regarding the salaries of citizens. And the Ministry of Finance revealed on Sunday that Iraq's financial revenues in the federal budget exceeded 65 trillion dinars over 7 months, confirming a rise in the oil contribution to the budget to 95%. However, an economic expert believes that non-oil revenues will not improve. Shafaq news agency examined data and tables released by the Ministry of Finance for the current fiscal year from January to July. These figures indicate that oil still constitutes the main source of Iraq's general budget, accounting for 95%, highlighting that Iraq's economy heavily relies on oil revenues. According to financial tables, total revenues until July amounted to 65,195,373,735,974 dinars after excluding transfer revenues of 1,995,073,713,000 dinars. Total expenditures, including advances, 52,916,562,761,000 dinars. Based on the financial data, oil revenues reached 62,259,118,923,534 dinars, constituting 95% of the general budget. Meanwhile, non-oil revenues reached 2,935,884,812,439 dinars. Economic expert Mohammed Al-Hassani commented on this, stating, "Non-oil revenues will not improve or increase as long as Iraq lacks local industrial and agricultural production." He emphasized that the Iraqi economy is rentier, relying on taxes and customs for non-oil revenues. He pointed out that the successive governments in Iraq have not directed the surplus of oil revenues resulting from rising oil prices towards industrial and agricultural development but relied on imports to meet local needs, confirming that Iraq has become dependent on neighboring countries. Earlier in March 2021, Prime Minister's Financial Affairs Advisor Mudir Mohammed Saleh stated that the persistence of Iraq's economy relying solely on oil is due to wars, economic blockades during the past era, and the ongoing political conflicts, which have led to the dispersion of economic resources. Iraq's continued dependence on oil as the sole source for the general budget puts the country at risk of global crises affecting oil prices, forcing it to cover deficits through foreign or domestic borrowing. This highlights the inability to effectively manage the state's finances and the failure to find alternative financing solutions. And the executive director of mobile power units at General Electric's energy division in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, Medhat Al-Marabi, announced on Sunday that the company aims to utilize jet turbine technology in converting flared gas into electricity production. This statement was made during his meeting with the Deputy Prime Minister for Energy Affairs and Minister of Oil, Hayyan Abdul Ghani, as announced by the Ministry of Oil. According to the statement, Al-Marabi mentioned that the meeting included discussions on the technical proposal presented by General Electric for utilizing associated gas, which is currently being flared, to produce electricity by utilizing jet turbine technology. He also proposed signing a framework agreement on the sidelines of the COP28 climate conference. In response, the Minister of Oil emphasized the ministry's commitment to support fast-track energy solution projects to harness associated gas and convert it into useful energy in collaboration with reputable international specialized companies. Thanks, take care.